house in that old 24 by 24. A dream was born, just a hammer and the floor. Daddy and me, we ranch under the moon, building classics to the whistle of a lonesome tune. From burning tires to railroad steel, chasing dreams with grease on our heels. Now it's 8,000 square feet, 6 acres wide. The snowman family's along for the ride. Rails paid the bills, but the shop fed the soul. We worked long nights to make the dream whole. From that little backyard to a kingdom of chrome, we built it together, turned iron to home. From burning tires to railroad steel, chasing dreams with grease on our heels. Now it's 8,000 square feet, 6 acres wide. The snowman family's along for the ride. Under the lights, the engines roar, burnout spinning, always wanting more. YouTube cheers from my family, so true, living our best life. Every day feels new. Now we host the shows and the cars roll in. Laughter and engines where dreams begin. From father to son, the legacy's clear, chasing smoke and steel year after year. Now we host the shows and the cars roll in. Laughter and engines where dreams begin. From father to son, the legacy's clear, chasing smoke and steel year after year.
Hi. I have been told that we might need to take a little bit of a break from the TubeU videos, Vigimamos, because I sound like eel. That's odd. But hey, if you remember, yesterday I was telling you that this marker was starting to mess up. And what do you know, it seems to be doing fine as frog hair now. I did the right thing. I went ahead and got another one. So that one's brand new. Anyway, welcome back to Never Done Projects. I know what you're thinking. What kind of crap are you going to do today? You can't tell, it's kind of a blank board. I got a lot that we need to do, but the question is, what am I going to do? The part for Steven's Flex was delivered this morning. I'm serious, I made it maybe 15 minutes down the road, and my wife calls and says, "Hey, are you having a package delivered?" Yep. She said, "Well, it just got dropped off." Well, I ain't coming back for it now. So tomorrow never comes. But tomorrow, we will work on taking off his AC compressor. I think I got like one more line to take off and get his new one bolted in and the lines attached to it and everything. Make sure that's good. And make a phone call on somebody who can make sure they can charge it correctly. And as long as that's done, he should have his air conditioning back by this weekend. Anyway, at Never Done Projects, we are just a silly little YouTube channel. Today is Wednesday. Hey, Mike, you, Lone Wrench Garage. You know what day it is? For me, not whenever you watch the video. You know what day it is? It's Wednesday. It's hump day. If y'all don't know that commercial, you need to look it up. A camel yelled at Mike and said it's hump day. Some of y'all, Logan, probably too young to remember that. Probably Madison too. It is July 23rd, 2025. You know, in 2 days it'll be 7 months till Christmas. Excuse me. I'm way wrong. It'll be 5 months to Christmas. Which means I'm 5 months away, less than 5 months away from having another 1-year-old. So, today's plan. Let's make it together, shall we? I spelled that wrong. Quickly spell check. How do you spell tightening? Let's see here. T-I-G-H. I don't know. We're going to spell it like lightning. And this won't be recorded, but I'm going to put it on here anyway. So, let's start with this one over here. Let's do this right. Let's go right to left. I pulled in this morning, and there was a gentleman sitting outside in a red, I believe it was like a Ford Fusion. Don't quote me on it, but I know it was a car. I pulled in, manually cranked my windows down because I got the work truck model. I asked him if everything was okay and if he needed a hand. He said, "Do you have any zip ties?" I said, "I think I got some inside." I don't think he quite understood what I was saying, so I backed over to where I like to park. I got out, and I started walking to the door with the keys. The gentleman's like, you work here? I said, "You in luck, buddy. I'm the owner." And he really didn't know what to think, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't know what to think either. But I opened the doors up. I tried to get the orange truck out, but the battery, we left it on. And now she's like, it's too soon for that. She's like Betty White. She did. Well, I don't know where the battery charger is. I've somehow lost it. The jump box is, dead too. So I told him, I said, "Let me back this other truck out." So I backed Black Betty out. I'm probably just going to leave her out for a little while. I backed Black Betty out, and he pulled in. I said, what happened? And he said he was driving on 49 here, and if you didn't know, we're right here on 49, and 109 is right there, and it kind of crosses there. He said he was driving on the highway up here on 49, and a car in front of him zigged, and he should have zagged because there was some kind of part or something in the middle of the road. He saw it too late. He hit it. And It didn't destroy his car by any means. It didn't look like it bent a wheel or anything, but it messed up some of his trim on the bottom of his front bumper, and the plate, the aluminum plate that goes underneath your car for aerodynamics and to help with the protection of the motor, it got hit. He said, I guess I can try to zip tie it up. I said, man, I'll take a look at it. I said, bring it in here instead of trying. He tried to put the scissor jack under. We'll get it in here, I'll jack it up, and we'll take a look at what we can figure out. I looked, I said, man, I can take the whole thing off. That's probably going to be your best bet, because that's metal, and it's bent pretty bad, and if we don't take it off, you're just going to hear it flopping around underneath the car. He said, okay, let's do that. So I do it, and I explained to him, like, look, you need to be a little careful now, because your whole underside of your engine is exposed now, and you can see where he's hit some slight scrapes. Might have been the part, I don't know. Explain to him if he wants to take the part, he can have it. If he doesn't want it, I'll throw it in the recycle pile. It's just a small piece of aluminum. He don't need it, so I'll go recycle it at some point. And I explained to him, he asked what our office hours were. I said, man, if I knew, I'd tell you. It's hard for me to explain it because I work full-time for the railroad. Dad works full-time for the railroad. Y'all know that, we know that. And I explained to him, I'm basically here whenever I'm not sleeping and when I'm not working. So explain to him that whole situation, he understands it. I gave him the business card. He doesn't really live local, but it's one of those things, if he's in the area, he might stop by. So I didn't record that because that was as soon as I got here. I had a few missed calls. Well, I had 2 missed calls from the same person. Tried to call them back and they didn't answer me, so I wanted to know if I was going to be here. I'm here. Whenever you called and I wasn't here, I call you back. That's beside the point. Now we're going to go from the bottom to the top, just like our YouTube channel. We're going to go from the bottom, we're going to go to the top. Let's sweep. Let's do some more sweeping. I got my shorts today. Let's do a little bit of sweeping where Twisted Sister and Fireball is. The mattress we gave for 7 to lay on and sleep on, he's been using it. It smells wonderful. But let's do a little bit of sweeping. Let's try to get a little bit organized. Also, let's finish tightening Fireball's header bolts. If I don't remember to do it, I'm not going to do it. And if I don't do it, I'm going to burn up a valve. And that was a lot of effort to get that motor in there, and I don't have another backup motor. I don't want to burn a valve. So we'll do that, and at the very end, if I have time, I'll make tomorrow's video. Tightening the header bolts, it's just an 11 millimeter. Got to kind of grip your hand, and I live my life 1/4 turn at a time. Again, long tube headers are amazing. They sound amazing. But everything else you do with your vehicle after you put long tubes on is a battle. What I also need to do is there's one spark plug wire that pretty much touches the header tube. I need to take that wire off and put the metal protector back on it to prolong the spark plug wire life. But it does have the looming on it, but it's not going to protect the boot itself because the boot itself doesn't have the looming. That doesn't seem like a lot, and realistically it's not that much. But Eeyore is tired. So why don't I go do that and just see how much I can get her done for today. And go sit down in the air conditioning as I need it, okay? Taking breaks, you feel a little guilty sometimes, or at least we do. Sometimes you need to. We are so close to getting this YouTube partner thing done, and it's not like we're expecting anything from anybody. It's simply put, a lot of things in our life has been a goal that we never reached. And this YouTube thing, because of you, yeah, you, is going to happen. Yeah, we got to put in some effort too. But if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. I can assure you right now, if it was not for YouTube, I would have never bought Black Betty. Probably wouldn't have bought Fireball. Wouldn't have bought Zelda. Wouldn't have bought Twisted Sister. Wouldn't have bought Old No Name up here. I mean, YouTube has pushed us to be better. It's pushed us to learn. I'm not a mechanic, but it's pushed me to learn how to do mechanic stuff. More mechanic stuff. So thank y'all again. I know we've said thank y'all a few times, but I can't say it enough. Because we are just a silly little YouTube channel. Our goal is to be happy in our 1,440 minutes of every day. So stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff to do. One of the more important things that we need to do is we need to keep the shop clean. It doesn't have to walk in and be able to eat off the floor, but I need it to be clean, where you walk in and it doesn't look like crap. And if we're going to do this thing in October, where we have everybody come, again, I need it to not look bad. I have a idea, dream, if you want to call it that. Squeak! The fireplace here. I put the front cover on it, and there is it's called a squirrel cage. It blows air where the little hole is right here. I have a dream of taking this stuff and painting it. It doesn't even have to be pretty, but put some high temp primer and high temp paint on it and at least make it look decent. Just like I did the door here. The door is, well, just a regular everyday door, but it looked bad because it was just filthy white and it was rusted. Now it looks halfway decent, painted black. Oh, and I got me a new sign. It said, leftover parts are proof you made it better. I also have this sign. I don't want anyone to think I'm an asshole. I want them to have absolutely no doubt about it. So. And just so you know, no, I have not taken the tires to the landfill. Been kind of lazy on that one too. But that's something I need to start working on, and maybe making a trip once a week or something. Or next week I'll be on day shift, so I'll be in High Point. We'll see. Again, thank y'all for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, comment. Check down in the video description for our friends in the Snowman family. I've not said that in a while. We're gonna make this happen. And I think we're on the tipping point. Once we get over the tipping point, I think it's going to snowball even more. But we got to keep on. Some days you just don't feel it. Some days you might not really get a video. Some days I don't feel it and Dad does, or Dad doesn't and I do. Usually we push each other. Right now, neither one of us feel it. Right now we're just tired, boss. So I might just take the advice of my wife and just take a day off. I'm Eeyore at work now instead of the Grim Reaper and all kinds of other stuff, but I am Eeyore. I don't need to be like that. You don't want to listen to me. Oh, I clean it if it's just going to get dirty again. No, that ain't what we're going to do. We're going to clean it because it looks better. Not just for camera, but it looks better if you walk into a shop and it looks like absolute crap. You ain't going to want to be there. So, let's do a little something, some diddly something. Oh, speaking of some diddly something, did you know in the song from Missy Elliott, Work It, put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. And that from this way, all that, it's just put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Reversed. She's just saying it backwards. The more you know. Thank you. Luckily, Dad cut this one. So maybe it'll do better. Probably not. You know, fix all these vacuum lines and now they're just going to be in the way. There's a 13. Hey, why don't we put our tools back where I got them from? So here's an 11. Wrong way. That's reversed.
Once was a ghost on 4 cracked tires. Faded paint hid all its desires. Forgotten dreams in a scrapyard tomb. Echoes of speed lost in the gloom. But the spark came back like a lightning storm. Under the hood, the beast was reborn. Fireball tearing through the night. Burnouts blazing, flames ignite. Once left behind, now it roars so loud. Fireball's back, makes the big dogs bow. Black as midnight, streaks of red fire. Rolling thunder, a rebel's choir. From the shadows it claimed the street. Now every engine skips a beat. The wheel spins fast, smoke fills the air. No
antifreeze, but we can check. Well, that seems to have solved the problem. There we go. The headers are tightened down. Need to make sure I check all my spark pluggies. Make sure I check all those good. Sounds like a tick, but I'm like 99.5% sure that's just being open header. What's her name? Black Betty did the same thing. Either that or I don't think I have a miss, or it definitely wouldn't rev that clean. But I need to make sure these wires stay out of the way of the steering knuckle another day. How about that? That's going to do it for me right now. Thank y'all.